Hi Dario, how are you?
Good, thanks, Ellie. How are you?
Yeah, really well, thanks. You've welcomed back Kiko, Mueka and Charlie. Tell us, how have they been welcomed back to the club and how are they all after the long journey?
Now, look, all three have been, very warmly welcomed back. We had the two Japanese girls yesterday. I think it was all over the social media. They had a really nice reception and got scared a little bit with all those poppers or whatever. What are they called? The streamers? When they were all going off. So that was really nice to sort of watch that from the back and to see the reactions and how everyone's excited for their achievements. And it is a fantastic achievement to be the champions of a continent, and they played really, really well. Beat my Australia in the final, and then we had Charlie come in today for the first time. But although she lost, it's her first major tournament with the national team, and how she's progressed this season after all the injuries that she's had in the past. So although she lost, there's still a lot for there to be celebrated as well.
Could we see the girls involved this weekend, or is that a bit of a tall order after the...
Look, the Japanese girls have come back a little bit earlier than Charlie. So we'll just see. Charlie we've kept her inside today just because of especially now with what's going on with the Middle East. Her flights have been redirected. So what was already a very long trip became even longer, having to go through America and then getting to the UK. So very, very long. So we just need to just see how her sleeping pattern is and how she feels, and we don't want to put her in any sort of jeopardy. The two Japanese girls all okay so far, but I think it's knowing that trip and knowing the toll it takes, we just need to take it a little bit day by day.
Yeah, a long journey. And can you please just update us more broadly on the squad? Any injuries or any kind of updates regarding the other players?
No, look, there was just a couple that we had to manage a little bit that we were managing through that week of Chelsea and Liverpool, looking after their minutes. So there's some that have had to recover just that little bit longer, but I think everyone should be available. We'll just see, obviously, with the three that have returned, how they go. But I expect that everyone should be fairly much up for selection this week.
And you mentioned Liverpool there. Can you just tell us how, you've had a few more days now to reflect on it. How do you reflect on that game and that result?
Look, I think in the context of everything, quite good. We had to approach the game with not one recognised winger or a number 9, where we went with 3 sort of attacking midfielders, and especially with the short turnaround, I thought, we were there right until the end, created a few good chances, and unfortunately we just weren't able to put them away. So I thought, against a very good team, after a very tough game midweek away to Chelsea, where even there we were right in it towards the end. We were a little bit maybe disappointed, obviously, with the 2 goals we conceded. So we quickly rectified that. We were much more solid against Liverpool. And, it was one of those where maybe on another day we get a little bit more out the game. But it was a good game, enjoyable game against a very good team, and gives us confidence going into this weekend.
And this weekend is Leicester waiting for you. What's your assessment of what you've seen of them and your approach to this fixture?
Look, I think that all goes out the window for this weekend because of the, and something I've spoken to the girls about, that this is going to be a different Leicester, because this is them backs against the walls. They know this week they're at home, they're playing, a very, very important game. So you look a little bit back, obviously we'll analyse, but I think in terms of that emotion and the fight, that they're going to give absolutely everything. And if we are not there, and if we're not going to be exactly the same, it can be a very, very difficult afternoon then.
Yeah, only 5 league games left for you now. So interesting, you're not looking at Leicester's position and thinking that's a game we should win. You're looking and thinking this is a dangerous side who need a result.
100%. So for the ones that were here last season, we learnt that lesson. We went very quickly down 3-0, and that was, again, reasons behind that. But it was a similar thing where, just up here, we weren't there, and teams in this league can do it. Doesn't matter what the table says. For me, I've always said that's irrelevant until the end of the season, because you can be here 1 week and in a couple of weeks you make a good run. Now you're up here, so it doesn't change much from a week to week. We know that they're a good team. We know that they can be very, very dangerous, and we have to be, from the first whistle until the final whistle, if we're not ready or we're 1 second off, we will get punished.